All right. Good morning, Sean.
Why, good morning, Joshua.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Caffeinated Q&A. We're on episode 12 now, I believe. We made it to double digits. So that's good. I mean, I know that 12 isn't the first double digit show. I'm smart enough to know that, but
I was going to say something, but it's fine.
I knew you were. So, guys, first of all, thank you if you're listening right now. I appreciate you. Again, we didn't create this show for us. I have, we have things we could be doing, but our focus is on being able to help people in the small business owners, marketing managers, anybody that's really focused on marketing and communication for their business. And so the fact that you guys show up, that's the reason that we're here, to try to provide value to you guys. So we're going to do that. And we're going to have a little fun along the way. So let's, first thing, again, so I don't forget, every single week, we send out one email a week that has information about this week, about the previous week's shows and the shows that are coming up. So resources that we talk about in the show are available in that email. So just go to ghostcreative.com/live, sign up. We don't send you a bunch of junk email. We send you one email a week on Monday morning. All right, now on to the fun stuff. So today we're going to be talking to Bill Coyle from KHM Travel. Bill's a friend of mine, and he is in a really difficult industry. As you can imagine, the travel industry has just been devastated with everything that's going on. And I really wanted to have Bill on because he provides some really unique insights given the position that he's in, and we're going to dive into that. But welcome, Bill.
Thank you so much, Josh and Sean. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys. Hope you're doing well today.
Yeah, we're hanging in there. I'm broadcasting from my bedroom as I have been for the last 12 episodes. So it's all good.
Nice.
So, Sean, I need you back for a minute because we have to talk about our caffeine.
Yeah, Sean left us.
Here I am.
There he is. He's back. Okay. So, Bill, we'll let you go first this week. We'll let our guests go first. I realize that I'm always talking about myself and what I'm drinking. We need to let the guests go first. What are you drinking?
We're kind of boring in our household, although I'm at the office today. Fortunately, I'm back at the office because, when you're not in the office and you're working from home like you are now, Josh, like your bedroom, like you almost want to kill each other sometimes. This is my fancy Embassy Suite mugs. I'm not doing a promo for them, but this is just a regular Lipton bag. Like, we're tea drinkers and I love tea, and Lipton's one of my favorites. So that's what I'm drinking today.
There you go. Sean, you're a tea drinker. What do you have? Same as always?
No. So peach flavored rooibos, I think is how I was told to say it, tea.
Nice.
So, yeah, I broke away from my normal chai, like cinnamon spice, whatever. And went for the fruit today. So, because healthy.
Good for you. And I have I need to have, I've been drinking a couple of different kinds, but I still have my Death Wish coffee in my Ghost Creative mug here. It's still fantastic. Honestly, I'm not getting paid by Death Wish or by Black Rifle, but those are my two most recent coffees. And they are honestly two of my favorites ever. So check them out. We don't have an affiliate link for you, so you'll just have to go to their website and purchase it. I don't know what else to tell you.
But because I'm a guest, though, you might want to send me one of those mugs.
I absolutely will send you one of these mugs.
Actually, I'm supposed to be coming into Erie this weekend, so maybe I'll swing by and pick it up.
Perfect. Please do that. We have one waiting for you.
Awesome.
All right. So let's talk about what's going on in the travel industry, Bill. So why don't you give people a little bit of background, kind of just, again, I've mentioned that you're with KHM Travel Group. Give them a little bit of background of who you are and what you do for KHM.
Yeah, thanks a lot. First of all, our retail travel agency, our bricks and mortar agency, my parents started in 1986. My sister and I took it over in 1996. And then we joined KHM Travel Group 4.5 years ago. KHM is a host travel agency who operates, ironically, in Brunswick, Ohio, where I currently live. That's our hometown. And they have about 4,800. We have about 4,800 travel agents throughout the USA, right? So my role with them became although I'm still a travel agent on a daily basis, my role with them became director of education and programs. So my team, the best team in all the USA, handles all the education resources and live trainings and online virtual trainings for our agent community, along with the fact that we run the programs department, which is everyone from our entry level agent all the way up to our pinnacle agent and our diamond agents.
Yeah. So that's really interesting. I mean, when you're in a training position with that many agents, and then over the period of, I mean, days, everything hits uncertainty. How do you go from, first of all, what did it look like with your training prior to COVID hitting us? And then what adaptations have you made over the past, couple months here to kind of try to keep this thing going when, again, with the travel industry, everything was turned upside down?
It really has been, Josh. You're right. It has been turned upside down. I have to be empathetic to my community because we're in a bad situation. It's a depressing situation right now. Prior to COVID, our training at our host agency, and to be honest with you, other host agencies, they're all very good about their training. We concentrated on our live training. We brought 40 to 50 travel agents into our hometown 4, 5, 6 times a year for 4-day live training. So it's just a regular live training series. It gives them, they come in with very little knowledge and they leave with what we want them to have as confidence, right? Confidence to go back, start their database, their marketing, and start to book travel so that they can start to earn money, right? So that, as you can imagine, came to a screeching halt. We had our last one in February where we had 48 agents here, and then boom, it stopped. So we've been working, my team's been working on the virtual end of it. Like, how do we take these training courses, these education courses, and turn them into virtual without completely boring and turning over the industry by saying, yeah, we're not going to see you for maybe a year, but please watch these. So that's coming out in July. We're super excited about that. But in the meantime, we had to immediately deal with the impact that this is having on our agents. The first impact was cancellations, right? So once we started to see cancellations, now our agents had, because we have 310 suppliers in our repertoire, right? As a host agency, we have our top 30 suppliers. And then out of that, you can imagine the 80-20 rule where we're doing 80% with our top 5 or 6 or 7 suppliers. But the agents still had bookings. We were coming into the year 30% higher than we were in 2019 and 2018. So we were, as you can imagine, our industry was just on a roll, right? We were just on gangbusters roll. So with those suppliers, we had to learn all those policies. So our agents are like, I don't know the cancellation policy or the rebook policy. And the airlines were part of that, and the tour company and the resorts and the cruise lines. So it just became a mishmash of things that we had to focus in on our agents and say, okay, we're going to help you with every single booking that you have, some of them hundreds of bookings, and we're going to help get you through the process. That's literally taking us, we're still working on it because as time goes by, there's still more cancellations, right?
Yep.
So it's how do we deal with those clients? How do we deal with these policies? Making sure that there's no chargebacks. There's been so many elements to it that it's been a little bit overwhelming, and not just so much for our team, but for those agents who are home-based agents, and this is their income that they rely on.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, the fact that you're communicating and immediately switching to digital, that's something that a lot of people, a lot of industries are struggling with because they never had to do it. I mean, I'm sure you knew ahead of time, but you're really seeing it now, is that switch from the in-person feel to switching to digital is just, I mean, it's different. So
it's different. And Josh, as you know, we've been speaking about having you come. I'm excited to get you guys over here as soon as we can. Sorry that came to a halt, but what we did was we just did the things that we knew that we could do. We started to go live with our agents 3 times a week in their agent-only Facebook group. So that really, really helped them, right? That connection was there immediately. And then we really quickly developed agent-to-agent webinars for them that we do weekly that are pertinent to exactly what's happening to them in the industry right now. So we quickly transformed from, hey, we'll see in a few months, to we're going to be with you every single day of the week. in some format, right? Whether it's the lives or the webinars. And those webinars are mostly virtual where they're open up so you can ask questions. We can tie you in verbally to ask your question or whatever, just so that you know that there's that element of togetherness.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're in a unique place for multiple reasons, but one of the things that we are telling our clients all the time is keep communicating with your customers, right? Like keep communicating, let them know that you're there, because we need a massive amount of empathy right now. And the question I have for you is, so you're communicating with the agents, but there's another layer, right? Where the agents are then communicating with their customers. And I'm curious what advice you are giving to your agents in terms of their communication with their customers.
This has been the biggest part, right? This has been one of the anomalies in our business. And you're right, because KHM's customer is the travel agent. We're helping them communicate with their customer, who is the ultimate client, the traveler. So it's kind of a 2 or 3 part series. And ironically, we just had a webinar on this the other day of best practices, right? Is it posting factual information that you know on a daily basis or every other day, stuff that's actual and factual, right? The airlines did this today, the cruise lines did this today, TSA is doing this today. Is it empathetic, where you're saying, hey, we understand that you're thinking about travel. We're going to be here for you when you get ready to travel again. That's another message that we have for them. And then there's some agents who are just rolling right into it and saying, hey, there's great deals, get ready to book. If you're thinking about it, get ready to book. So we've taken it as a 3 or 4 prong approach so that it's not one size fits all, because it's not. Each of us has a unique clientele. Each of us is in a different market. Some things work for each of the agents, right? So we've kind of been going over that way about how best to work it for their marketing, their messaging, which we've taken away the word marketing a little bit and using messaging. What does that look like to them in a social media and a direct email stance?
Yeah, that's brilliant. I love that you're giving them a framework for communication. That's fantastic. Because a lot of times people, when they get in these situations, they just freeze up, right? They don't know what to do.
Absolutely.
And so giving them that framework, a little bit of guidance, not telling them exactly what to say, but giving them the framework in terms of thinking about things to say and do. That's awesome. So one of the things that everybody is struggling with is there's no end date, right? There's no end date here. And we're in the yellow phase and Erie and potentially heading to the green phase, but I mean, that could change tomorrow. And, humans are not good with uncertainty. A bad situation for us is better than an uncertain situation in most cases. So knowing that there's still tons of uncertainty, what is KHM and what are you specifically doing to kind of prepare for when travel starts to open, even though we know that if they post a date today, that could change tomorrow? What are you guys kind of doing to prepare for reopening?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, because you're right. We're in Ohio, where our restaurants are actually opening up tonight, right? We had outdoor restaurants open up last Friday, and tonight you can go into restaurants. So it's a different feeling than it is in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, some other states. So it's funny because our mental thought process might be a little bit faster than yours. So we're ready to roll, right? Some other people are not ready to roll. So we've got to be as diverse as possible in our thought process. But we're working mostly in tandem with the airlines and the cruise lines and the tour companies, right? So we've got to go by that, because don't forget, the other layer of this is the CDC and the state level 4, right? It's the federal level 4. So it's all of these elements that are out there that are really a struggle for us. Because let's just say we heard from the Greece minister of tourism, and she says to us, which she said last week, come to Greece. Well, okay, how are we going to get to Greece? What if we have to fly through Amsterdam? How's that going to look, right? So we just can't do the startup. Like you say, there's no end date and there's no start date, right? Because as we thought that there were start dates, we're now canceling those dates and moving them again. So in March, we thought, okay, well, maybe we'll be ready by June to go to Mexico. Well, guess what? We're not ready to go. So now we're moving those into September, hopefully. It's the same with Hawaii. If we go to Hawaii, we're on a 14-day quarantine in Hawaii, right? And they keep extending that. So we're literally within our own groups, within our own elements, we're posting those updates on a daily basis so that our agents, you have agents, like I said, who are aggressive, who want to get that booking, who want to get that trip booked. And then there's some that are saying, I'm not doing anything until I know that they're actually going, right? It's kind of that idea. So everything is internal, but we also have our marketing department, which is just amazing, giving them resources that are electronic that they can also send out for those that are willing to wait. And don't forget, we're dealing with the situation where the cruise lines has canceled all of Alaska for the summer. So now we're busy moving those into 2021 sailings, and our agents are scrambling to do that and move those future cruise credits and vouchers into the future. So it's a mixed bag, Josh. It really is.
Yeah. Bill, I want to touch on something else that you and I talked briefly about before the call, because I mean, the reality, and I want people to make this connection, right? Like KHM's customer is the travel agent, correct?
That's correct.
And so we have talked a lot about communicating and having empathy for your customers. I want you to talk to us about how you are thinking about, I'm always fascinated with mindset and how you're thinking about serving your customers, how you're serving the travel agent.
You're going to get me emotional now. It's been tough. You know, most of our agents who are our clients are home based, right? And they're just sitting there in their homes, canceling bookings, watching $200, $300, $400 bookings go down the tubes in commission to them, right? So, you know, they're struggling to think, okay, I had my budget set for the year. How am I going to move forward now with $0 coming in? We've been talking about fee-based structures, other types of income, but nothing's going to change their main source of income, which is them being a good travel agent. Our top agent made $180,000 last year. So we literally are empathetic to all of them. I'll be honest with you. I committed to them back on March 20th, March 18th, whatever it was, to be available to them 24/7. I have been. Our company has been. They reach out, Bill, I'm in trouble right now, and I need your help right now. So that direct communication has helped them. It gives them that other ear, that other feeling of the walk through the process, right? We've been walking through the process. So what I'll do is I'll call them and say, all right, let's walk through the process. You know, let's go through everything that's going on right now. Let's talk about the air. Let's talk about the land. So it has been an empathetic process for them. It's been a partnership process that we've been trying to do with them. We're hearing good things about that because the fact that they understand, and I'll be honest with you, it's helped that I've been in this situation as a travel agent in 1995 when the commission cuts came through by the airlines. In 2001, when we saw devastation, we all lost 30% of our business overnight. In 2008 with the stock market, in 2009 with H1N1, I've been through this, right? So I thought in my career I had seen it all. And to be honest with you, Josh, I hadn't seen it all. And this just makes me realize that no matter what we think is going to happen in our industry, there's always something that's worse, right? So I will tell you that 300 to 400 of our agents have become really, really good agents overnight, right? They know more than they've ever known before, and that's going to help them in the future. It's just not helping them right now. So between our president and our marketing team and all of our teams here at KHM, we literally have been just staying in direct communication, messenger, text, email, like I say, the lives. We've been doing anything we can to be involved in their lives and trying to help them get through this.
Yeah. I absolutely love that. Guys, this is such a great lesson, regardless of the industry that you're in. If you have that level of empathy for the people that you are, your customers, which are really people that you should be serving, if you have that level of empathy, then you're going to figure out a way to get through this. And that's what we have to focus on. We need sales. I get it. Like, people need sales. There's income missing. I get it. But at every level, the empathy is going to be the thing that is going to get us through this, not one more sales pitch, right?
Yes,
so thank you, Bill, for sharing that. I appreciate it.
Certainly.
Thank you for your insights. I mean, again, guys, these are the level of communication that Bill and his team are going or diving into to make sure that the information is factual, to make sure there's empathy, to make sure that people do not feel like they're alone in this is just, I mean, this is way deeper than business, right?
Yes.
And that, to me, again, I think those are the businesses that are going to make it through this. The ones that care so much that coming out on the other side, people are like, why wouldn't I do business with them? They were the only ones that were there for me when things were really difficult. And we have to have more of that mindset.
Yeah, Josh, and it's that. Plus, we're praying for them, praying with them, and don't forget. So we're also in between because now we have suppliers that we need to be
Yeah.
on a level. They have to have empathy for us, right? So we're blessed to have those connections with our suppliers and the airlines, the tour companies, and the cruise lines. So we're sort of bringing it all together. Like we will get the senior vice presidents of all the cruise lines to speak directly to our agents so that they can feel better about it as well. So we're also the middleman for tying them in and making sure they're part of the process, and it's not just our the client fighting the agent fighting the host fighting the supplier. It's all we're in this together. So I wanted to say to you that you talk about empathy and you talk about that relationship. When we were in trouble and our small travel agency was in trouble multiple times, if we didn't have relationships with our customers that we literally could call, Josh, I'm not embarrassed to say this because it happened and we needed it. We literally would call them because no banks were giving money back in the 90s or in 2001, in 2008. No banks were giving money, right? We would call them and just say, hey, we need help. Literally, Josh, this always just brings tears to my eyes. We had customers that would come in and write us a check. And they'd say, don't worry, we'll be traveling in the next couple of years. Just keep it until then. And that helped us pay our rent, right? So when you have those relationships with customers that, they want to see you exist, right? They want to make sure you are staying in business. They're going to do whatever they can to keep you because our customers that we've had for 30 years, they don't want to deal with someone else, right? They only want to deal with the people that encompass the world travel, right? And it's the same way now. Like you said, our agents only want to have that relationship with KHM, and other host agencies are doing the same thing with their people. But once you have that bond and that ability to help them that much, they're going to stick with you. And that's what we need to get through this, is that relationship to stick through.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Absolutely.
I always get emotional when I bring that up. I don't know why I do that. I
don't apologize. I mean, this is if we're talking about our customers and their struggles and we're not getting emotional, I think we need to rethink where we are. I mean, I'll just be honest, right? Like if we can talk about our customers and know that they're struggling and say, yeah, that's fine, no big deal. I think we're in the wrong industry. I really, truly believe that. So, well, Bill, thank you for your insights. I think Sean's going to join us here again. Guys, I'm very curious what you all think about kind of where you are with the empathy level with your clients. I hope that our clients feel as well served as what Bill's do. And I know for us, this is going to push us to a new level of empathy, just having this conversation, opening my eyes, just my mind spinning with ways that we can serve our customers better. But I'm very curious, if you guys have any thoughts and ideas as well about how to better serve your customers. All of those thoughts and comments help the community. So, Sean, do we have a question?
That's kind of what I'm sorting through right now.
Okay.
We do this, and when we're live, we just get so many questions. It's like, oh my gosh, we try to narrow it down to like fit it into one, and then we'll get back to them later if we can't get them all. But it's funny. I hope things are going well in Erie. I'm tied into Erie from the time I've been young, and driving down, is it 26th Street, right? The connector from 79 to downtown.
You can get there from 26th Street, State Street, 38th Street. There's a few main.
I was thinking this morning about all those businesses, all those small manufacturing companies in there, those education companies all the way into downtown, and just hope that they're doing well and relying on their customer base. And I think one of the important things is, and I always talk to our agents about this, please do whatever you can to save a percentage of every single booking or every single sale that you have, whether it's 5% or 10%, just stash that away. I don't care if it's in your mattress, just try to stash some of that money away, because we've got to have that to rely on.
Yep. Yeah. And I really feel like a lot of, like, when things like this happen, it's a filter, right? Like the companies that are the agents, in your case, the agents that are really like, I'm going to figure this out. It's going to be ugly for a while, but on the other side of it, they're going to have learned so much and be so much more prepared. And the agents that were not really cut out for this may decide to do something else, right? I mean, and that's true in every single industry.
We've seen that actually. We've seen 3 to 4 a week that say, okay, I cannot handle this. I didn't get into this I just got into it because I thought it was gonna be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
And it's okay. That's okay. We're trying to save them and get them to understand. But Josh, you're right. When this comes back, just think about the amount of business that was on the books in early January for most industries, right? And then most of that, I shouldn't say most of that, there was a portion that was booked for 2021 already. So there's the cruise lines were up 30% going into 2021 at the middle part of this year, like already. So is that inventory even going to be available when people start to say, okay, get me booked, I want to go? And what's the pricing going to look like? So I think that anyone that's listening needs to be prepared for whether they're a small shop, because I don't know if you know in Cleveland, but we have a lot of these resale shops and vintage clothing shops. And I'm just hoping that they're prepared for that onslaught of the people that were wise with their money over the last 8 weeks who want to get out there and start to spend again, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah. And we're seeing it in our industry where both sides of it, right? Like the filter where there's, anybody can call themselves a digital marketer, and a lot of people did. And, now they're realizing, wow, this isn't as easy as I thought, because times are tough. I'm going to go need to do something else. But we're also seeing on our business side where there's clients coming to us, and we're so extremely thankful for, that are coming to us where they were smart with their money and their business is doing well. And they're saying, hey, now's the time to do this. Everything is slowed down. Let's revamp our marketing and let's do it. So, we're very thankful for both sides of that. And just again, you're exactly right. It's going to open back up. And unfortunately, some of these businesses could suffer when it opens back up, right? If you're not doing the prep work now, and now there's an onslaught of people, just imagine the travel agent that is not prepared to handle a bunch of bookings, and now there's a bunch of bookings coming in, right? It sounds like it's a great thing, but could be a problem as well.
Yep. Because we saw some online agencies go, fold, for crying out loud. Bookit.com just folded. So that's thousands and thousands of clients that are looking for someone to handle their travel, right? So they're going to need it. And Josh, we're going to need you guys. We're going to need you. Our agents are going to need you. So we hope to get you back in here, you guys, for our plan that we had originally talked about, and get that going with our people.
Well, this, I've mentioned this to you before, but whatever you need us to do, even prior to that, you let us know. We'd be more than happy to.
I think
to
one
help
of the best
however
things
we
we can
can
do is get you guys on a live webinar with our agents and start to talk about what it looks like now, and if they can contact you, because they're desperate. They're desperate to get. They don't know what that messaging looks like. They don't know when to do it. We're giving them the best advice we can, but they need some professional advice. Yeah.
We'll definitely talk about that offline.
Awesome.
So I think we had a couple questions come in. I'm going to ask one because in true Cora and true my wife fashion, she asked, I'll just put it up here on the screen. How are you taking care of yourself? How are you taking care of yourself through this?
In the middle of all of this, I woke up on a Monday morning in April, I think it was April 20th, and I had some pain down on my side. And I said to Debbie, you guys know my wife, I said, I'm just not feeling right down there. Something's going on down there. So we were Googling it all night on that Monday, like, what could it be? And she's telling me all this stuff. And then on Tuesday, it was a little bit worse. On Wednesday morning, I drove myself to the ER. I'm like, something's wrong. Like, this is not good. So they do a CAT scan. The guy comes back 15 minutes later. We got to take your appendix out. I'm like, I don't have time to take my appendix out. Like, you got to be kidding me right now. So the guy, they wheeled me into this ambulance, took me to the hospital because I was just at an emergency room. They take out my appendix, 10:30 at night. Debbie picks me up. Like that Thursday morning, I slept until about 11, and then I had a live to do like at 1 o'clock, I think, on Thursday on a webinar. I'm like, I got to do this. And then I realized as some time went by, maybe I should have let that heal a little longer. But I've been telling the agents and the president of my company and my coworkers, I feel like I'm made for this. I feel like God put me in this position with KHM as his host agency to do this right now. Like, I think if I do nothing else in my career, this probably was a good thing for me to be available at this time. So I've been fine. I've been sleeping well. I feel good. I wish I could see the grandkids, and your kids, because I love your kids. But I think that that's going to come eventually. And I know that this weekend I'm going to try to take it easy. The last 2 Sundays I've actually taken off. One of them was my birthday. Mike came in, Jenny came in, so I was pretty blessed about that. We had Mother's Day last week, so I'm doing enough for myself. I promise. I just am in this. I don't know, in this adrenaline mode that says, you've got to keep going, you've got to keep going. So I feel good though.
Good.
Thank you, Cora.
That's good to hear. All right. I think we have another question from Barb, Sean.
Yeah. So she is asking, like, what kind of platforms do you use to communicate? And because you obviously have a very, very broad base of people that you're talking to over different time zones, I'm sure. What kind of tools do you use for that?
First and foremost, we have our agent portal, right? So it's just an agent portal that is owned and operated by KHM. All the information goes in there every single day. That's uploaded, changed, all of our education, all of our video libraries in there, and the agents have access to that 24/7. And then, of course, we have our CRM, our client relations manager, which is just an amazing. We pretty much have our own. A guy in Florida made it for us, but we are his #1 customer. 4,800 people are in that every single day. So our CRM, and then of course our Facebook groups. We have our agent only, we have our pinnacle level agent only, we have our group, and then we have our agent agency program Facebook group, and that's how we're communicating with them on a regular basis. And then of course our marketing team is constantly doing electronic emails, etc. for them. So lots of great platforms. And I'm thinking, I hope that I answered that properly, but Josh, help me with that. Is that, should I be saying specifically what those are, or just our level of communications?
I mean, yeah, you can as well. Like, are you using Facebook for video?
Yes.
Yeah.
We do use Facebook for our video. Yes, absolutely. Well, in our company is Instagram, Snapchat, and other ones as well. But our main one is on a daily basis, our agents are going to their Facebook group, the one that they belong to.
Yeah, awesome. Can I tell you how much I love that your company has Snapchat?
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Yeah.
I have to ask, because this is the platform of the day. Is your organization using TikTok at all?
Not yet, but I can tell you that because of your age group and most of our staff's age group, they absolutely want to get into that. So they probably need a little bit of help on that. But yes, they're probably looking to get into it.
That the sooner the better on that one.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Thank you so much again, Bill. I mean, this has been so incredibly helpful. I mean, your level of empathy towards your agents is palpable, and such an inspiration for our team, and I'm sure other people that are watching, where it's like you can always focus and serve your clients better and on a deeper level. And I think this is a great example and great conversation to lead us all towards doing that. So I really, really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. It's been an awesome half hour. Appreciate you guys, and I know you're going to make it. I know we're going to make it. Let's come out of this on the other end and be prepared for what's coming.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you all for joining us. I appreciate it. So this has been Caffeinated Q&A. Again, you can sign up for our email, ghostcreative.com/live. We'll send you one email a week with some resources. We'll throw some resources in here in the email from this show, as well as the one on Tuesday. And we will be here every Tuesday and Friday at 9 a.m. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon.